Okay guys, today we're going to talk about 5 reasons why you shouldn't get your FFL. Okay, reason number 5 is the cost. Honestly, it's not too expensive, but it is something that you are going to have to pay for. So for the type I got, which is just the manufacturer of small firearms and ammunition, it's like $30. And every 3 years you have to renew it, and there is a fee to renew. And then for the storefront one, I do believe that's $200, and then $200 every year to renew. Manufacturers, I do believe, is $200, and I think it's a little bit less to renew. You'd have to load up, but anyway, it does cost you money. Reason number 4 you shouldn't get your FFL is everybody is going to know that you're getting your FFL. Obviously, the ATF's going to know because you got to fill out the application to do it. The city where you live, they're going to know because you have to advise them and make sure that everything is good. In fact, the ATF will typically communicate directly with your city to make sure everything you're doing is A-OK. So if you don't live in a firearms-friendly state or city, good luck getting your FFL. It's not only ATF. Also, your chief law enforcement officer is also, you have to let them know that you're getting your FFL. So the local police chief here knows that I have my FFL. It's mostly just notification, and they're probably not going to do anything about it, but they know. Also, depending on your city, they might want you to get like a business license or something like that, and further muck things up and increase that cost, the other one that we talked about before. And so it is kind of a pain. So just take into account that everybody's gonna know, and there's a little bit of a bureaucratic mess that you got to jump through to get it. Reason number 3 is the liability associated with getting an FFL. So anytime you have your own FFL, you're going to have to make sure you're doing everything nice and pretty by the book. And if you're not doing everything by the book, then things can go south really quick. You could lose your FFL, you get prosecuted, all sorts of bad things if you're not doing things by the book. Also, liability, what if now customers are likely going to be buying stuff from you? If you're manufactured a firearm and you sold it, you could be on the hook if it malfunctions or does something like that. The second reason is all the documentation that you're now going to have to do. In addition to all the documentation we talked about, filling out your FFL forms, business licenses, all that crap that you potentially have to get to support your FFL, you're going to have to fill out an acquisition and disposition book. So every firearm that comes in, you have to fill out exactly how the ATF wants you to, and every firearm that leaves also has to be filled out. You're going to have to separate your personal firearms from your business firearms. It's very likely the ATF's going to want you to do that. Also, if you buy a firearm for yourself, it's going to go through your FFL now to get to you. So now it's all of a sudden traced through all that mess where you have to fill out all your records. Also, with this documentation, if you ever close your FFL, you got to send all the firearm records to the ATF. It used to be after 20 years you start getting rid of them, but now the wonderful government has made it so you have to store those records forever. Okay, the biggest reason you shouldn't get your FFL is you essentially now have an open door policy to the ATF into your business location. Whether you're doing that a home-based FFL or at a business, there's inspections that the ATF will do on a semi-regular basis to come and make sure you're complying with anything. They'll look through your documentation, they'll look through any security measure you have, they'll just make sure all your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted. And that kind of scares a lot of people. All of us have seen the videos of the ATF going door to door for guns, for triggers, for homemade suppressors, for just because they think you smell funny or something, and just taking stuff or raiding people. It's a mess. So when you get your FFL, you can no longer say, hey, do you have a search warrant, and tell them to pound sand if they don't. Now, if you have your FFL, you're welcoming them into the place where you're doing stuff. So I never recommend breaking the law in general, but especially if you have FFL, make sure all your T's are crossed and I's are dotted, because one day the ATF just might show up and come check out all your stuff. Okay guys, so those are 5 reasons you shouldn't get an FFL. I don't want to scare you away from getting one because it can really free you up in kind of what you can do with firearms and make what you want to do with firearms legal. It can help you with your friends and family and other people to transfer. It can be a little side business. You can make money. So there are a lot of pros to getting one. Just know that there are certain things that you're going to have to do to make sure everything's legal. Okay guys, if you have any other thoughts on an FFL, or if you have an FFL and can think of some downsides or some pros, please put those in the comments below. Okay guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.